Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Life with Mundane. I'm Katie and I'm so glad that you joined us this week. I post videos every Wednesday and Saturday on making the most of the little moments in homeschooling, home management, parenting, and everything in between. So if those are topics that interest you, I would love if you would just take a quick second and subscribe down below. We have all sorts of fun videos out every week. Today we are going to be talking about picture books and how, as a busy mom of 6 who homeschools, how I handle and organize all of our picture books, what systems we have in place to make this process easier and to make it where we actually read more than just my kids' favorite 12 books. So let's get started. So like I said, I am a busy mom. I do have 6 kids, all who still enjoy picture books, and the list of books that I have is ginormous. I already did a video talking about how I digitally catalog all of these books through the Library Things app, and I will post a link to that below and above for you guys. But how do I actually organize them when it comes to physically organizing them? There are several separate sections to what we do, and the main one is this shelf all along this wall. We have that here, and then we have it displayed on our floating shelves in our family room, which is kind of the kids' hangout area. And so these books are easily accessible to our kids. There are tons of studies out there that show that books that are facing out like this are a lot more likely to be picked up than ones where you can just see the spine. This is like doubly true when it comes to picture books because there isn't a very thick spine or pictures or descriptions of really what the book is from the edge of it. So being able to see the cover really makes it more eye-catching, and I've noticed since putting this shelf out for my kids and rotating through these books that my kids are picking up books a lot more often, that I'm seeing them read on their own and bringing me new books to read to them as well. So the way I decided to do this is, like I said, my kids tended to always gravitate towards their top 10 favorite books, and I got very tired of reading the same books over and over again, but I also was disappointed that they were missing out on so many great books that I had accrued over the years, personal favorites, new books that I got at garage sales or book sales, and so I was really wanting them to dig into some of the stuff that I had available for them. So I decided on a book rotation system that was simple enough that I could keep up with it, and but made sense and was easy for the kids to enjoy. So first things first, I laid out all of our picture books. I gathered them from all over the house, laid them all out to decide what I was going to do with them. And that was a little overwhelming to me, not only to see how many books we had, but how many books we had that we had never read or looked at. I really went through the books that I knew that we were probably never going to get to, or maybe we had duplicates of, and made a stack to go to be passed on. And then next step was took out my kids' few favorites, and they have either a basket in their bedroom or a bookshelf in their bedroom where they can store their personal favorite books or what they're currently reading right now in their own bedrooms. But when it came to all the other books that we have, and while we do have a lot, I wanted to figure out a great way to organize it and to rotate them through. So that's when we came up with the system for the boxes that I'm about to show you. We selected 4 boxes for the 4 seasons. I just went to Walmart and picked up simple plastic totes and labeled them for each season. I have a card on top that shows which topics they cover, and started dividing my books out into like groups. Now again, not every group is going to fit into a season on its own, but there are certain things that kind of make sense. So ocean books went with summer, circus books seemed like something fun you do in the summer, so I put that in the summer. Any back to school books, Thanksgiving, stuff like that went in fall, and so on and so forth. And for the books that really didn't seem to fit in any category at all, we had several on space or several on, jobs around the community. I just picked a different box for each one of those, and that was not a problem at all to just have sort of a few fun miscellaneous books that went into each category. So I have those labeled, I have them set, I have them in my digital catalog as well in the Library Things app. And then what I do is once I put them into these boxes, I go into that app and go into that Library Things apps and put a tag of which box I used. So if it's a birthday book, because all of my kids' birthdays are in the summer, I put all the birthday themed storybooks in the summer box. And so I just go in and I just put the tag summer in there. So I know exactly which box it's in. I can double check that because I have a label on top of the box that tells me what topics are kind of covered within that box. And it just makes it easy if I need to quickly reference something. I've done 12 boxes, one for each month or something, but that would have been very complicated and would have been hard for me to implement and to remember to do each month. And I knew I didn't need that mom guilt. So let's make it simple. 4 times a year, and the idea is that if I only want to change it out for that season, I can. If I want to only do it once, that's not a problem, but I can also come back and do it a couple of times within the season. So right now I have about half of my spring books out, and I have the Easter ones and some of the growing gardening ones, those things like that, and then here in the next month or so, in May, I'll probably switch it out for our Mother's Day, more Mother's themed ones, some of our tea time ones, that kind of thing. So it gives you some flexibility as far as how often you want to rotate it out. You can rotate it out as often as you want or as little as you want. And now for the most part, these are not reference books. This is just to rotate through to get my kids excited about learning new things. So down here on this shelf, this is kind of a reference book area. It's not all pretty and clean, just real life for you. But basically, we have a lot of our Usborne books down here. We love Usborne books for references. So we have our encyclopedias. We have a lot of our early readers. I do have some, obviously, within the mix of picture books, but I do have a selection always out and available for my kids. We have some of the books like the fairy tales and Shakespeare and fun stuff like that. We also have books on Egypt and Greece, since that is what we were studying in history this year. So we have those out all year round, so we can grab them whenever we're in the middle of a history lesson. If it is something we're studying in school, let's say we are studying birds or we're studying Egypt or something like that. So for things like that, we usually use the library resources. We keep all of those upstairs just to keep them separate and to make sure that they don't get lost and we don't end up with fines. So this is really, again, not so much for what we're studying in school per se, but just more to rotate through the books that we have available. So I hope that kind of helps you get an idea of what we do and how we've worked it so that we can rotate through these books and actually get good use out of the things that God has given us. I will be having a video coming up soon on how we actually organize the rest of our books that are not picture books, but that is a video for another time. And so I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I would love to hear what you guys do for books and how you guys maybe have a rotating system through. Comment below and let me know. Also, feel free to always drop comments about videos you'd like to see in the future. If I can do it, I would love to share a video on that topic. And I hope to see you next week. Bye.